I'm so sorry.
No, you did it.
10 seconds, mics on.
It's time now for Monica May's Point of View, a show that delves into the issues that affect you. We believe in transparency and providing only the facts. And now, here's Monica May.
Happy Sunday, everyone. April is National Financial Literacy Month, and I got to tell you, we're going to delve into it. We're going to dig deep into it. We're going to first hit the first hour with South University is our sponsor, and we're going to hit that first hour with family literacy. There's such a part of our history where we're not leaving enough financial trails or footsteps or crumbs or anything that you want to say, but it all shapes into what's called a legacy. And to take us through the familial part of family literacy, we're going to talk with Route 7. And the members are Gene Martin, who is the president, and he shared a picture of us 7 years ago that came up on his timeline. And we talked about what this Route 7 was going to look like. And I'm telling you, the gentlemen that you have brought on, each equipped with something special to give back to the community. And you don't only focus on men, you focus on the family.
Correct.
So, Gene, this is really good. Byron, it's good to see you. Byron is also a financial literacy expert. I'll say that. And he's one of the panelists because we're going to talk about an event that you all have. And Curlin Williams is a board member, and he's with us. And then, of course, Shamar is doing our photography work this morning. So welcome, gentlemen, to Point of View, and thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
Thank you
for sharing your platform and having us.
Yes. Gene, this started as an opportunity to do what? Route 7 was just a vibe.
Yes, so the origin of Route 7, just to preface everything, networking was a little bit a struggle for myself when I first moved to Orlando.
Where are you from?
I'm originally from Gainesville, Florida.
Gotcha.
So moved to Orlando in 2010, and just the landscape of every networking event that I was going to, everything was just so agenda-driven. Everybody just wanted something. Hey, can I shake your hand? Let's get a deal done. But there was no genuineness of those relationships that were being developed. And then I really did a reality check of myself and my friends and, just kind of taking inventory of the conversations that we were having. And were they progressive? Were they intentional? Were we talking about goals? Were we talking about how we can help one another grow from a personal and a professional standpoint? And that wasn't the case. So I said, you know what? Let me just reevaluate my circle, and let me invite some friends from different walks of life, and let's host an accountability meeting. What does that even look like?
That's deep, Gene.
Yeah. So
you started with accountability, and that's usually the circle where people end up.
Yes.
You get the group, and you want to be accountable to each other, but you started in with that as a goal.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yes.
Amazing. So go ahead.
Yeah, so we really just wanted to make sure that, hey, we know up front what our intention is. We want to make sure that we provide an egoless environment so that we can share these personal and professional goals. But better yet, how can we help each other achieve those goals? And the biggest thing is making sure that, regardless of your title, regardless of your experiences, we're not here to judge anyone. And we started with just 4 people.
Is
four
that right?
people. 4 people, and now we have grown to about 33 members, 36 members. We turned an official nonprofit in 2019. In our mission, we are a network of gentlemen driven to promote growth amongst the community and each other.
When I read your mission statement, it's like you don't exclude, but you got to be purpose-driven.
Oh, 100%.
So again, you don't exclude, but you got to be there for a purpose.
Yes.
And then, so how do you attract people like Curlin and Byron? How do you do?
It's very organic. It's very organic. So in my day-to-day, whether it's from a, casually networking or casually doing anything from a work standpoint, I'm going to integrate some of the things that I'm doing in the community, especially when it comes to Route 7, but making mention of, hey, this may be a void that you can fill, or we can help grow your business. We can help you from a personal standpoint, whether you be, for me personally, it was, hey, I was becoming a father. I got guys that I can lean on that I can take advice from. But there's so many different things as men that we have going on in our lives that we can lean on the experiences of others to help us propel to achieve what we're trying to accomplish.
This is amazing, because when you think about the times that we're in, there is not enough brotherhood in the hood. Okay, it's not enough fatherhood examples in the hood. And so this is a great opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
This is a great opportunity. So now when we talk about, and I'm going to come back to more of Route 7, but when we talk about April being Financial Literacy Month, did you know that it was begun with a focus on youth?
I did not. And actually, that is something that I come to learn a lot longer.
Yeah.
But the reason our speaker series even started, when we host our accountability meetings, if there are barriers that are a common thread amongst several gentlemen, then that means that there's a greater need to extend that conversation.
Sure.
So we said, okay, let's lean on subject matter experts, because we don't have the answers right here.
Okay.
And not just subject matter experts, but those that look like us. Those that can relate to us and that can pour into us. That has led us to our 5th annual Money Talks Financial Literacy Speaker Series.
Let's talk about that.
Of course, of course. So this conversation has evolved from as simple as, how do I, build my credit? How can I budget safely? What is the home buying process? Which has led to a more in-depth conversation, which we're going to be having this month in regards to family legacy. So when we talk about the likes of retirement, and what does that look like? How much should I be contributing to my retirement fund? What is life insurance, and do I need it? Is it worth the cost? Is it worth the cost? And really making sure that we're setting ourselves up for true generational wealth. But where does that start? It starts with some of the topics that we're going to be discussing, and we are very fortunate to have some very dynamic minds in the financial realm that are going to be able to pour into us and the community at large.
Let's talk about the date. Let's talk about who can come. Let's talk about the panel.
Of course. So April the 26th, that is a Wednesday, 7 p.m. at the Grand Avenue Neighborhood Center. You're going to want to RSVP at route7orlando.org. This event is absolutely free, but free does not mean that we are compromising quality, because we have some of the best minds when it comes to financial literacy that will be joining us. Our very own Byron Tobias, who is a financial advisor, and I have to say my personal financial advisor as well.
Okay. Byron, what is a financial advisor? And pick that mic up so you can really, really, really get in the conversation.
Sure. So again, thanks for having me. So a financial advisor simply helps your money work for you. So we often work, of course, we work for money, but a financial advisor is going to simply help your money work for you. But what does that mean? It means that your money basically is going to it needs to grow. You work hard for your money, but your money can grow as well. Your money can grow in investments. Your money can grow in various kinds of investments, whether it's stocks, whether it's bonds, whether it's mutual funds, whether it's exchange-traded funds, annuities. Life insurance products can grow your money. But also, your money needs management of risk, and protection. So protection, I help manage risk for my clients. I help protect them from risk of the market through diversifying their portfolio. I help them with risk management from the standpoint of taxes, protection from taxes, and also help protect them from other things such as inflation risk, such as various other kinds of things that I help my clients manage. And most importantly, the other aspect of that, and that's why we have these other panelists on, I help make sure they pass it along properly to their heirs. Yeah. And you partner with different professionals such as CPAs and estate planning attorneys to make sure that is all accomplished for someone.
Now, you manage big money, or do you manage little people's money?
So I manage both. Okay. So I help people grow their wealth. And this is going to be from clients that are, say, at the beginning stages of their careers. So that can be from a 25-year-old that's basically just getting started. They needing to start growing their wealth. They need to learn about their retirement plans through work. They need to start maybe Roth IRAs to go with that. Maybe they're starting a family like Gene. So they may be starting some things like 529 plans for their kids, or they're setting
college.
Yep, 529 plans to set up college education plans for their kids, or they need to build some life insurance for that protection. But I'm also helping people as they age through life, and it starts to get a little bit more focus for them. It starts to really sink in, like later in life. I'm 45, so basically around the age of basically say your late 30s, early 40s, it really starts to sink in, and it definitely starts to sink in around the age of 50. That hey, I really need to make sure I'm ready for retirement. So I'm helping people in retirement build towards retirement, and I help them manage that wealth in retirement through their income streams, through a change in their risk tolerance, and so forth.
This is amazing, and this workshop is open to the public.
Open to the public, absolutely free, and we encourage everybody to come because there is no topic too big or too small. And the goal for us is to have a conversation. Our panelists are not going to be here to just talk at you, but to have a conversation with you. And the mindset that I'm trying to encourage our audience is you can network, you can meet people that may be the same trajectory that you are in your career or your savings or your life goals, or, learn from those that have accomplished a little bit more that you can learn from as well. But my encouragement is, if not you, then who? If not now, then when?
Right. Because the knowledge that you're sharing is evergreen.
Yes.
In other words, you need it. You're going to want to have it. I wanted to share something with you, and I promised that we had some guests on about 3-4 weeks ago from Bright Community Trust. I wanted to share that with you because they're doing something similar. Banking, saving, budgeting, understanding credit, preparing for home ownership, and their workshops are free as well. I said that I would bring them into the conversation. They're doing something on basic banking next Saturday. I believe that is the 22nd, and then from there, they have all in that same workshop, prep for financial emergency and the basics of starting a business. So, Tracy Blue, I wanted to make sure that I brought up Bright Community Trust. There are other organizations doing what you do, but there is certainly something to be said about it from a man's perspective. If you'd like to get in the conversation this morning, feel free to give us a call at 844-945-2945. This is Point of View, being brought to you by South University. Our guest this morning from Route 7. And Gene Martin has, when I first met you, I'm not sure what job you were doing. Were you just coming out of school at that point? I met you through Devin here at the radio station. I know that you work for the Orlando Magic, and now you're doing your gig with Chase.
Yes.
What do you do with Chase now?
Yes, so I'm a community manager, and uniquely enough now, I teach financial literacy. So I teach the basics of budgeting, savings, and credit, and with a focus on helping our Black and brown communities with the resources that are available from Chase. So a natural segue, and it's a funny story that my introduction to Chase was actually through our Money Talk speaker series.
Is that right?
That is correct. So from 5 years ago when we initiated these conversations, I had some good friends over at Chase, and I would say, hey, let's lend some of you all's expertise. I know that you all can throw a panel together for us, but it's not just going to be for our male group. We're going to open this up to the community, and we hosted it at the station actually. And I developed that relationship, and we had them on board for about 3 years. Wow. And then naturally, this position became available here. It's there's 150 of these positions as we are supporting Chase's racial equity commitment.
Okay.
And I happen to be the community manager in the Apopka area, along with 2 additional colleagues in the Central Florida area, but really making sure that we can connect our Black and brown communities to the resources available at Chase, and especially with financial literacy and financial health education being at the helm of that.
So when you first started with Chase, did you know all that you know? What did you bring with you in terms of financial information, financial literacy, so to speak?
It's a passion of mine.
Is
so
it?
this is something that I've been doing on my own to make sure that, not only myself was in check, but my family was in check. I wanted to make sure that I had something to bring to the table for my wife, and making sure that I had my stuff together.
Well, that's all right.
So I did have a surface level knowledge, but if you work for an institution such as Chase, they're going to make sure that you're equipped to have very, very in-depth conversations and dialogues to make sure that you can lead those conversations and help people towards financial freedom.
So now we're talking about financial freedom, but Curlin, there are other workshops that you all do throughout the year. What are some of those?
Yes. So again, thanks again for having us. I know we have our mental awareness in May. We do that. Then we also have when it comes to going. What was the next event we had going on? I won't bring that up right now. But we had the one where our books, route reading. And then we also had our Well Said program.
What's that?
So Well Said, we work with the Boys and Girls Club in Hughes downtown, where we teach kids public speaking. So it's
I want to talk with you all about that. That's great.
Yes, an outstanding a program. One of our board members, Kwanzaa Canigan, created it, and get a chance to do a 12-week program where we do strategies with the kids once a week, and then at the end of the course, they get a chance to present in front of their family and friends. We did it at the location Boys and Girls Club downtown, and it was just outstanding. The growth from week 1 to the final week, how comfortable they felt, the consistency of Route 7 members coming there. Every time we attended, we brought meals too as well. So after the hour session, we all ate together. We all conversed with one another, and it was outstanding to see the growth. We've done it 2 years. We've expanded more out this past year. Kwanzaa has, and now we're looking to do it again this fall too as well.
I think that is wonderful because I'm a wordsmith. This is what I do. This is what I've always wanted to do, but I was a very shy kid. Can you imagine that?
No, I can't.
No, wait. What do you mean you can't imagine that?
No,
My goodness, yeah. But no, I really was. And so it's funny. I told a group of students Wednesday at Winter Springs High School, how do you turn a shy kid into a media person? You had it in you all along, Dorothy. Just click your heels. If it's something that you want to do, you can go ahead and put it in your mind's eye, and you can get it done.
Absolutely.
And so that's what my lesson to young people is always, because communication is the one thing that is going to connect me to you, connect you to Byron, connect Byron to Gene. But if you don't communicate what's on your heart, what's on your mind, we'll never know how we can help you. So I always say, or what you need.
Yes.
What you need. It's 6:19 right now, 844-945-2945. This is Point of View. April is Financial Literacy Month, and it's recognized every year to raise awareness of the importance of financial literacy and maintaining smart money management habits. If you don't put, if you got 5 pennies, if you don't put half of that aside, the next time you get 5 pennies, you'll have nothing. And so I always say, either you use, like my mom used to use the envelope piece, like, I have $20 in here, 40 goes to the, all that kind of thing. You said a great strategy, but we don't do that anymore. And we don't teach our children.
Yes.
We're not teaching our children. So matter of fact, in the 7 o'clock hour, Lachey Reeves is on from 8 Cents in a Jar. You familiar with her?
Very familiar.
Yes. So that discussion will be kid-friendly. And that's something that we need to have open discussions about. When we talk about insurance, life insurance in particular, the importance of it, is it really, really, we get caught up in whole and term and the cost of it, and is it worth it? Can you go into that, please?
Sure, absolutely. I'm going to share a fact that I bet most people don't really believe, and it's for our community.
Okay.
We actually have a greater ratio of life insurance than other demographics.
Oh, I believe. You know why?
Why?
Because back in the day, that's what we believed that we needed. And we would beg, borrow, and steal to make sure that we had that one monthly payment So whoever started it.
Yeah, they used to go around
Yes.
collect in person.
That's right.
that premium.
That's right.
So yes, that has been instilled in us. But having the right amount of life insurance, adequate amount of life insurance, and like you said, understanding the type of policy you have, that is hugely important because there are so many different types of life insurance. I categorize them in two ways. You have term life insurance. Term life insurance is pretty easy to understand. It's simply for a specific period of years. So it can be a 10-year policy. It could be a 15-year policy, 20, 25, 30 years.
But
so
if you don't die within that time,
if you don't die within that time, then there's no payout from the life insurance company.
And thank God that you got in that time.
Absolutely. And with that being said, it doesn't mean that term is bad, but then you also have the other type of life insurance, which is permanent. Permanent life insurance is for your entire life.
or whole. Is
Well,
whole is something different?
Well, whole is actually a type of permanent life insurance
Okay.
policy. So that's why I break them up in term and permanent.
Okay.
So you have really three different types of permanent life insurance policies. You have a whole life policy. A whole life policy is basically for your entire life. However, the way it builds up cash value within it, and this cash value that it can build, it allows you to actually access that money from the policy during your lifetime via a loan, but it builds it up with a fixed interest rate.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the uniqueness about a whole life policy. This money could be used later in life, for retirement income. It could be used along the way to pull money out to buy other investments or for hard times. But that's what that cash value in that whole life policy could be used for, and other things as well. But then you also have a universal variable life policy. So universal variable life policy, that allows someone to build up cash value, but they're doing it in the market. So similar to investments and that you have access to in your retirement plan. So you're building it up through mutual funds in the market. And then you have universal life permanent policies, which is going to build it as well, but it's just not going to build it as quickly, and it's not necessarily attached to the market. It's attached to a particular index that is a fixed rate of return as well. But those are different types of permanent policies. And the permanent policies, yes, they can be for your whole life, but it's very important to review them and their performance because they can lapse if different things are not performing accurately with them, as well as if something has changed in the market, like we've had a huge increase in interest rates, right? So those different factors are very important to review.
So now Grandma would say right now to you, well, what about if I just want an insurance policy to make sure that when I die, I can be buried, everything will be taken care of, and my family doesn't have to do a GoFundMe?
Yes.
What kind of insurance is that?
So you think about it, that type of insurance could be a life insurance policy, but that also could just be money that you have set aside. That's simply being self-insured. So if you think of what we're talking about with family legacy and building up wealth, if you have $10,000, $15,000 set aside for burial costs, hey, that's enough to cover a funeral. However, if you're looking to sort of pass along generational wealth and also have protection against a loss of income, or also have your certain liabilities paid off. Maybe you need a home paid off. Maybe you need a vehicle paid off. Sure. Maybe you want that kid's future college education paid for. Maybe you want to leave a financial legacy to a charity. Those are things that's going to be generated through a life insurance policy that's going to hold a greater value than just a burial amount. Although a life insurance policy can cover your funeral costs.
See, that's wow. Grandmama just wanted to know that. 625 right now. And I say that because when we go from the person peddling the insurance, that's what we were getting it for back in the day. Mm-hmm. We weren't thinking of all of the A, B, C, D, E, F, Gs that you just mentioned. We just wanted to make sure that we could get in the ground, have a decent home going, and, maybe have a little bit of victuals afterwards and not be a burden to anybody. That's why we got insurance.
Absolutely. And that's the next level conversation that we're trying to have on the Money Talks series there for Family Legacy on April 26th. That's the next level conversation. We're trying to take that conversation from, say, budgeting and credit building to buying a home. Now we're taking it to, hey, how do you build wealth? how do you maintain building wealth, and then how do you actually properly pass it along to your family.
So when you developed the speaker series, we talked about the mental health one that's coming up next month in May. Okay, this speaker series on finances is, what's the date?
So this is going to, our Money Talks Financial Literacy Speaker Series is going to be on April the 26th. That's Wednesday, April the 26th, 7 p.m. at the Grand Avenue Neighborhood Center. We kindly ask that you RSVP at route7orlando.org. And just, as we future set men in mental health, we know the importance of that and those conversations. I was fortunate enough to be here with Pernell a few weeks back, or a few months back, as we had that conversation. And we're actually partnering with No Limit, his organization, No Limit Health and Education, for our Men in Mental Health Speaker Series. This will be our third annual speaker series on that. That will be May the 26th, 7 p.m., and you can RSVP there at route7orlando.org. The caveat to that particular program, it is for men only, but it is absolutely free as well.
Okay, so the financial literacy one is open to everyone.
It is open to the public.
That's really important.
And very free.
So one of my questions this morning to you, Route 7 specifically speaks to men and the male issue.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So no women are allowed in your meetings.
Well, the focus is that we have that natural, organic platform so that we can go ahead and share amongst each other. So, as men, we don't naturally do that.
Look, Gene,
I got
just
you.
say no.
No, but I want to lay it out because there's reason behind that. Yes. You're not going to get the genuineness of our meetings. You're not going to get the energy of our meetings. You're not going to get the transparency out of our meetings if we had women there as well. There's certain things that you may have had a long day. Hey, I need to talk to the fellas on this one. I need to get it off my chest. So we want to make sure that we provide that safe space so that we can have those type of conversations.
So how did you get involved with Route 7, Curlin?
Well, I know for me, we brought it up earlier about how, Gene, how you look for members. And with me, it was the relationship I had with Gene. We worked with Orlando Magic together at the time. And I'm big on actions, not just words, and how he carried himself. And, we were workout partners, you try to, self-care together and talk about family, talk about finances. I'm like, man, I have to get more involved. And then getting there and then meeting other people and seeing people opening up and expressing themselves, things you won't do, won't get that at work, you won't get that at home. And being able to just add on top of that and being part of the growth. And it was just so exciting, and then learning and educating and being accountable for one of our key focuses, and keep on adding to that constantly. And that's what definitely got me more engaged, more involved, and blessed to be a board member and just keep this train going.
What's the average age of men who are involved with Route 7?
So I would say mid-30s, but our range is as young as 25, and our oldest member, and not to individualize anybody, but it's about 55, I want to say.
That's
about
okay.
55.
That's good.
So, yeah, we have a diverse range, and I think that's the beauty of our organization, because you can leverage experience. You can leverage that experience. You can leverage support, and if you know that somebody has gone through a certain situation, whatever the case may be, we provided that safe space where I know if I haven't met this person, but I will run across this person in a meeting, I know the quality of that individual because they're affiliated with Route 7 Orlando.
I like that. So where do you all typically meet, and is it a monthly meeting?
So we meet bi-monthly for our accountability meetings. We host them throughout Central Florida so that we can conveniently meet people where they are at. So we don't have a consistent location, but we do make sure they're of the utmost quality. Our last one that we had in March was actually hosted at the Grand Avenue Neighborhood Center as well. But we keep a rotation to make sure that we could adequately accommodate people throughout Central Florida, wherever they may be.
I'd like to open up the bistro for you.
Oh, you already know we're coming.
To do that, because it's important for you all to just come in and see a Black-owned business. That's a big plug-in for us. But I would say that the importance of, for instance, for 5 months straight, we started out with 15 boys from Paramour Kids Zone. and we wound up with 33, and then girls got involved as well.
wow.
But we did some cooking lessons for them. But they were more than just learning how to, fry a piece of chicken or turn over a steak. It was life skills. It was African American history. It was who was the richest man in the world. And, many people said Bill Gates, and then no, he's from Africa and he looks just like you. And so just opening up kids' eyes. So from that, we realized that was something that we really want to continue doing. So we want to do it with even mature people too, because there's a lot we don't know about our history, and it's a lot we don't know about cooking. And with cooking comes measurements, which means math.
Yep.
So there's a whole lot that goes into it. And so we just invite you all over there to do that. We're talking about our finances this morning, and we'd love to get you involved in the conversation at 844-945-2945. 3 gentlemen from Route 7, which is an organization, 5 years?
No, we are 7 years
7
strong.
years.
Since 2016, we're going on our 8th year right now.
That means I didn't do my math
It is
right.
all good. It is all good.
And an organization that just Route 7. What the name?
Yes.
And it's ROUTE 7.
The number 7 Orlando, and the origin of our name. So in 2016, we were like, hey, we have some leeway here, but how do we brand this, right? And we were taking an analysis of the Orlando area at large, and there were 6 major highways that brought people to and from where they wanted to go. We wanted to be that 7th route that brought men together for the sole purpose of growth and development.
That's deep.
Yes.
That's deep.
Yes.
What you think, Curly?
It gets me every time. Every time, man.
Marvin, want to jump in on Route 7?
No, we welcome you. We welcome you. We welcome anybody that is driven, motivated. It is a member-based nonprofit organization of men. But, there's no pressure to becoming a member. We actually highly encourage before you sign up online, because several people have done so. Come and check out a few events and check out the diversity of our events, not just the accountability meetings, but some of the community service aspects of things, because we want you to know how well-rounded we are. But I assure you that you will find the benefit if you just come to 1 to 2 meetings or 1 to 2 activations of ours. I don't sell anything, but our organization, our guys, it sells itself.
I like that. 6:33 right now, 27 minutes away from Lachey Reeves and 8 cents
Yes.
in a jar. We're talking about financial literacy. We're talking about the legacy. We need to put it in our mind that you have to leave this earth better than when you got here. You have to leave your children something. And if we don't start saving up for it now, we won't have it when it's time to just give it down. And I don't only mean money, I just mean the prospect of how to attain, how to maintain, and how to grow your money. That's the real key legacy. I was listening to someone the other day, and she said, I just need some help. I can get my kids but so far, but then I need to get some advising. So that's why I said, do you do big money, or do you like corporate money, or do you do like small dollars, like regular mom and pops?
Sure. So I work with individuals as well as I work with companies. So business, I love working with business owners actually, and I can work with companies from the standpoint of servicing and managing their 401k plans. But I do love how your platform is set up today for Financial Literacy Month, because you are tackling it from the multiple areas that, say, our community needs.
Yeah.
Basically, about to have Lachey Reeves come in, talk about 8 cents in a jar. That's tackling it for the youth. The youth is going to be able to, we need the youth to actually be able to elevate their knowledge of financial literacy, because it's not taught in schools. As you can see, she's going to talk about a nonprofit that comes to the schools or comes to the youth and presents this information. For me, myself, I didn't learn about money and finances in school. I actually learned about money and finances through an unfortunate event when I got to college. I went to college at Florida A&M University. I was originally from Chicago. But my brother, he was 11 years older than me. He was only 29 years old, but he passed away, due to a serious illness. But he passed away, but he was smart enough to have life insurance. and he left a life insurance policy to myself and my older sister. And that life insurance policy, it wasn't anything too big, but what it did, my parents, we didn't talk about money and finances growing up. However, a year later, my parents just told me put it in CDs at the bank. So that's about as much as finance we talked about. A year later, though, someone at that bank actually talked to me about investing, and they talked to me about mutual funds. And that gave me a start to learning about money, learning about how investments can grow for you. So that's basically communication and knowledge of money. That is what's going to help really change the dynamics for us. So it's not simply just just knowing about information. It's actually applying the information. So that's something I was able to do. I was able to apply the information. I was able to basically elevate and make a decision to choose a career to educate others. And I'm still here today, rocking with my Route 7 fellas and working as a financial advisor. I have an Edward Jones office. I run in Apopka. So I'm passionate about what I do, and I realize the importance of it.
You know, they always say knowledge is power.
Absolutely.
I can't stop right there.
Yeah, it's applied.
Applied
knowledge.
yes.
Do with that power. We do. Okay, let me go to the phone lines now. Terrence is on the line. Terrence, where you calling from?
I'm calling from Orlando.
Hey, Terrence, you're on with Route 7 this morning. Thank you so much for calling Point of View on Star 94.5. What's your comment or question?
Well, I have a comment and a question.
Mm-hmm.
Well, first of all, I would like to congratulate these brothers on the work that they're doing.
Thank you so much.
People
Thank
have
you.
to realize
Appreciate
that
it.
finances is the most important thing that we're dealing with in the black community. It shows that as African Americans, we're responsible for $1.87 trillion of GDP of this country. If we was our own country, we'd be the ninth richest country on the planet. But in this country, per capita, we're dead last. So finances is everything. My question to these brothers is, with the banking situation that's going on right now, I've heard people using life insurance on bank. How can somebody do that today?
Okay, so
Sure.
explain that question again.
Sure. You want me to?
Okay, I've heard
No.
people using...
I'm gonna Terrence. I'm gonna have Curlin replay the question.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Gotcha.
So yes, this is Byron. So replaying the question,
I'm
you're,
sorry.
yeah, you're referring to how do people utilize life insurance as a bank? And so that is a big topic that's come up. As I mentioned earlier, life insurance policies, they can grow cash value in them. That cash value you can access, and you can access to use that money to fund whatever you want. It's something that you want to be very careful with. There's a lot of like blanket advice that's out there to grab a life insurance policy and use it as a bank. However, you have to make sure you're grabbing the right type of policy, and you have to make sure that it actually is working in the right direction for you for what you're trying to accomplish. So I think the first thing I would do before you just kind of look into that concept is simply really speak to a professional to confirm with them, what are you looking to accomplish? Really, are you truly looking to accomplish for your needs? Because maybe that life insurance policy and building it up to use it as a bank could be the solution, or it actually could be utilizing the bank or utilizing another form of financing. So it's just very important to really know exactly what you're trying to accomplish and not kind of listen to the sort of the blanket advice that's out there. It does say using it as a bank, you have to really put a lot of premiums in those policies.
Now, premiums meaning?
Premiums are the amount of money you pay for the policy. So keep in mind, you can buy, say for instance, you get a $500,000 life insurance policy. You have to put, in order for it to start building cash value right away, you have to put a lot of money into it in order for it to actually have cash value for you to borrow from it. Just because it has a face amount of a certain dollar amount doesn't mean that you're going to be able to borrow like half of that dollar amount. So your premiums are what build up that cash value that you can borrow from it, and it builds up over time. So if you do have a lump sum of money and you want some flexibility with leveraging your money, then hey, perhaps a life insurance policy would allow you to do that. But if you're simply looking to just add to it monthly, that's going to take a while to build up. So that's why I said you got to go back to the basis of what you're trying to do to make sure it is correct for you.
Okay. Terrence, did we answer your question?
Yes, you did. And brothers, keep up the good work.
All right.
Thank you.
so
Appreciate
much.
it.
844-945-2945. Jump on the line. Ask the fellas anything you'd like to. It doesn't only have to be on finances. It could be on the mental health series that they have coming up. It could. What are some other topics that you all get into?
Yeah, so professional development is another. We know
Okay.
that there's the strong importance there. Physical fitness. So June is Men's Health Month. One of our board members, TK, Coach TK, is a certified personal trainer, actually voted as Orlando's best certified personal trainer. But
Okay.
we will be partnering with him and Camp Gladiator to host a Fitness with Friends event focusing on men's health. But that is a come one, come all type of event that we'll be hosting as
So
well. Families as well, women as well. We encourage that. So not everything we do is just for the fellows, but we just want to make sure that we're honing in on the topics that are stemming from our accountability meetings. The accountability meetings are our source, our foundation, and the issues that come from those particular meetings. Thus, what we want to make sure that we provide that subject matter expertise that those folks can pour into us, but not only to us, but the community at large, excluding our Men in Mental Health speaker series.
I'm not mad about that because I really need to share with the audience the fact that men and women deal with mental health in different ways. I also wanted to point out a very strong point is that money can bring stress. The lack of money, that is. All right. Sometimes you can be rich, and just don't know how to handle yourself, and that can be stressful as well. But the big thing is that not having enough money to pay your bills, not having insurance to go see a doctor, not having, that can be stressful. Men deal with that differently than women. Women will do whatever we need to do to piece this together, to piece that together. Men feel that it makes them less than a man if they don't have everything that they need. So that's why I'm saying, you all do need to have that conversation. And you life for men, for black men, just totally different. We had that discussion before. It's just totally different. What can the men look forward to from that discussion? I mean, don't give me everything, but
No, you know what? The funny thing is the last 2 years that we've hosted this event, we have set a strict agenda of we're going to talk about X, Y, Z.
And you don't get to that.
And the thing is, the conversation carries itself because men open up. They know that, a lot of times men are coming to this event, and this is probably our most well-attended event and our signature event because a lot of guys have pent-up energy and they just want to release.
Yeah.
They want to release, and they want to hear from somebody that looks like them. They want to hear from somebody that has a genuine, kind heart that can relate to what it is that they're going through and provide access to additional resources outside of that room. I think the biggest thing with our speaker series is assuring that, we want to have people feel good and feel motivated, but what are those next steps that you can take to, really put a plan into action? What are those readily available resources that you can take advantage of? And that's the beauty of having a diverse group of panelists for everything that we do because they offer different services. And then you're right there. It's not a cold call. It's a warm introduction. I know that guy. I've spoken with that guy. Now I trust. Hopefully there's trust built there. I can take advantage of the services and the products that they have to offer.
You mentioned Pernell. I will share this. He was on, and I just took it upon myself to join him and Patrick, a barber, and I went to the barbershop and sat in on that meeting. Wow.
Yes.
And it was all on mental health. It was what to look for in your clients when they may be going through something and they don't really say it. How do you help them? What are the next steps? And he brought a lot of resources. And it's so funny. I got there, I forget whether it was on a Sunday afternoon, but in any event, it was on a Sunday afternoon. And I got there early and I was able to take like a second row seat. So you're facing straight ahead into, your speaker. For some reason, I turned around That barbershop was packed, y'all, before it was over. They were sitting in windowsills on the floor, standing room only. And I'm saying that to say there is a need for information. We do want to know how to manage our stress levels, how to manage mental health in our families, and especially men. So that's it. What was that gesture?
I gave you the money symbol.
What does that mean?
How to manage our money. And
How to manage our money
how
so
to
you
manage
can
our
manage
finance.
your stress. That
Yeah.
is it. Go ahead.
I was going to say the unique thing about what Pernell and the team have provided through our Men in Mental Health speaker series is oftentimes there are mental health issues that we may be going through that we don't identify as an issue at all. And just to see, in full transparency, at our last meeting, it was, to your point, it was standing room only.
Yeah.
We packed that. So this year we actually we're moving into a bigger room at the Grand Bohemian.
Okay.
But we
Oh,
had
nice.
gentlemen that opened up and felt comfortable enough to cry.
Yeah.
And it was so powerful.
talking
It was so
about.
powerful because they were just waiting on that platform to be able to open up. And it was something that gentleman was going through for the last, month. He was going through something with his parents, and he just didn't have that outlet or release. And in amongst a room full of men felt comfortable enough to say, man, I got to let it out, and this is how I'm feeling. But better yet, after that meeting after the meeting ended, everybody embraced that man.
You see,
Everybody embraced him.
You see.
So many people can relate to what he was going through, have shared experiences, and that sense of community, that sense of unity, that sense of brotherhood, there's nothing like it.
you all could be saving lives. You do realize
I would
that.
love to hope so. I would love to hope so. And I think that, it is a platform that provides something that you may be looking for, that void. It may be from a mental health standpoint. It may be from a financial standpoint. It may be, I just need to talk to somebody, or I just need friends.
Yeah.
A lot of times, a lot of our members are coming from out of town. They're looking for that sense of community that they haven't had. I was actually speaking to one of our members the other day, and it was mentioning, you don't get a sense of community like this outside of college, or outside of school. It's easy to be around, those groups because naturally you're going to be in that type of environment. But once you get out into the real world or you come to a new community, you don't necessarily have that. And we are happy to provide that.
So what kind of men are you looking for? Is there a certain, do they have to be college educated? What's membership like?
I would say the only thing that we require is that you're motivated and you're dedicated. You're dedicated. You're dedicated to our mission first and foremost. You're dedicated to attending the things that we have to put on. Because, this is a nonprofit organization. We want to make sure that, we're putting up a lot of energy, time, talent, and effort to make sure that we are providing a quality service to the community. So we want to make sure that you're reciprocating that energy that we're putting in to provide this type of a platform.
844-945-2945. Point of View is being brought to you by South University, and we appreciate our sponsorship. We appreciate the fact that you get up this early and you're listening to Point of View. We'd love to hear more from you. Terrence took a moment to call, and he talked about what African Americans bring to the bottom line in this country. And I don't think we realize how our spending habits really, really, really aren't creating wealth.
Yeah.
I thought about it. I wear lashes every day. Most people in media do. You may look at me and say, what? Okay. I need to invest in an Ardell or something like that. That's the line. Anything that you use repeatedly, I believe that you should have some, So instead of buying the latest brand of Adidas or Nike, why not buy your child some stock?
There you go.
Absolutely.
In that brand, instead of, so I'm just trying to think in a different way for us,
That's what it begins with. It begins with mindset. So
mindset matters.
Mindset matters, and basically your mindset around money is what's going to basically develop your habits and make you actually carry out those habits. So if your mindset is always on spending your money every time you receive some money, then that's going to be your mindset no matter how much money you have. However, if your mindset, like you said earlier, is about carving out a piece of your money, saving it. Now let's take some of that savings and actually invest it. And then now let's take some of that savings and make sure it's protecting my family then also let's make sure we take some of that overall plan and make sure that my long-term plan for my family and for myself is in place, then that's your mindset going forward. And if you continue that consistently, that will allow you to create those steps for your family. That will allow you to not only implement it for your family, but you'll be able to communicate it to your family members. And then that will what will create that family legacy that we're talking about.
So how do you change the mindset of people who have never had, and when they do acquire, all they want to do is spend, spend, spend? How what do you say?
I think it's just taking an inventory, because really people want to be successful financially.
Sure.
But they just push it off, or they think they can't do it. So one thing that I do, and this is for people that actually do have investments, they do have things saved up. Really, a lot of people just don't know where they stand. They don't know where they stand if they're on track for retirement or not. They don't know if they're doing the right thing or not, because, hey, their job is not really, they're providing the 401k, but it doesn't educate them about it. They have some investments and they make a lot of money, but they're just not sure about where their place is. So that's what I do as a financial advisor. I give them a current picture of their finances, and I really dive deep into learning about what are their various financial goals. And then why do they have those goals, and how important are those goals to them? And then I create a systematic plan to help them reach their goals. And I help motivate them. It takes a lot of motivation as a financial advisor, because you're dealing with people's emotions, the emotions of the market. But if we were able to partner with someone and they're able to trust you, accountability partner. Okay. Yep. So when they're able to trust you and pretty much you work with them and they get that education around how the market works, then they really get motivated. They get up and going. Like Curlin was talking about, they were accountability partners in the gym, right? Mm-hmm. That's the same thing that a financial advisor is going to do for you. A best financial advisor should be your best friend that knows a lot about money.
You said best friend. Sometimes we don't want our friends in our business. So you all weren't friends. You became friends, right?
We became friends. Uh-huh. And that's important because I know he has my best interests at hand, especially, as we think about family legacy, as we talk about, I've just had a child myself, so making sure that, hey, Byron, what's going on in the market? Help me out. Help me understand what's going on. Allow me to feel comfortable with what's going on. But that accessibility is key as well, especially when you want to be educated.
Mm-hmm. But again, what I'm talking about is sometimes we don't want to share that we don't know what we don't know.
And that's okay, because pretty much your financial advisor is going to keep everything confidential. Mm-hmm. So, and maybe it's not best friend, a good friend. Because I don't need to know all your business, but I do need to know, hey, what are your financial goals? What money do you have? What are you trying to accomplish? Mm-hmm. What is your comfortability with risk? So risk, for instance, some people drive down I-4 at, say, 80 miles per hour. Some people drive at 50 miles per hour. Some people drive the speed limit. So that kind of correlates to your portfolio and the risk that it should have. And so that's kind of how I partner with my clients to really understand them and make sure that they own the right type of investments to meet their goals.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, again, we're talking about financial literacy this month. This is the month that we really need to get our house in order. This is the month that we really need to set the stage for it. We really need to make some decisions. If we've been overspending, just everything that you got just went right back out, that's not a good thing. And you realize when you're doing that. And again, that's stress. You have somebody on the line? Okay. 844-945-2945. Coming up at 7 o'clock this morning, Lachey Reeves with 8 cents in a jar. And as we pointed out, Financial Literacy Month really evolved from Youth Financial Literacy Day. And it was, turned into a time that we really needed to have discussions throughout the entire month. And we really needed to learn how to leave those crumbs for our children. And that's what we're talking about now with Route 7. How do you turn money into a legacy? Well, you have to be advised in order to do it. You have to understand what does money do? It's a currency. It's an exchange. And so people have to change their mind. So Jean-Michel, is standing by for a question, and I may have, you know how I make things fancy and everything, but let's see. Are you there, John? Okay, and until we can get that call on the line, again, we remind you we just have 5 more minutes left with Route 7, 844-945-2945. If there's something you'd like to ask, go right ahead. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, good morning. Is it Jean or Jean?
Jenny.
Jenny. All right, Jenny, go right ahead with your comment.
Good morning, Monica. I wanted to send a shout out to the boarders on the point of view this morning, especially Mr. Byron. Thank you guys for this morning. I'm actually listening to it as I'm driving to work. But I want to say thank you, and you're doing a wonderful job because our men, our brothers, they really needed this. I feel like a lot of them, they could do better if they have, those organizations and those other group of men to open up and share and talk to about their feelings and learn from each other. So I just want to let y'all know I appreciate the work.
Thank you.
Y'all doing.
We appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Hi, Jeannie.
And just know Mr. Byron is out there. If you work with him, you don't just show up to his office and he forget about you when you leave. I worked with him a few years back, and when I tell you, he will just call me on a regular basis to check on me, make sure that I was okay.
That's good.
So he is not just a one-time businessman.
That's good.
When you do business with him, you have a friend.
Thank you
That's
so
that
much.
good friend we were talking about.
Thank you so much. All right. It looks like we may have had one more call. Do we have one more? Do we have one more call? Okay. All right. Thank you for calling Point of View this morning. What's your comment? We have like 3 minutes left.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for taking my call.
Yes.
And I just wanted to thank the gentlemen for what they're doing, especially for the Black community. What they touched on with the mental health, and especially with having an outlet for the men in our community. There isn't much for them, and they're so pushed back and pushed into a corner. We need somebody to reach out to them, help them stand up, understand their feelings, their stresses, and help them with all the things that bring these stress. And I thank these gentlemen for doing that.
Thank you
so much. We greatly appreciate it. And,
all right.
Encourage anybody that is looking to learn more about Route 7. All social media platforms, we can be found at Route 7 Orlando. Our website, where you can RSVP for some of our upcoming events, route7orlando.org. Coming up April the 26th, we are hosting our 5th annual Men in Mental Health Speaker Series, 7 p.m. at the Grand Avenue Neighborhood Center. So encourage you to attend. This is a free event and open to the community.
And April 26th is the one on financial literacy.
Yeah, that is correct.
Yes.
Family
and what time
legacy.
again?
7 p.m. at the Grand Avenue Neighborhood Center. Please RSVP at route7orlando.org.
I got to tell you guys, we appreciate you all so much. And you've got every single person who is lined up to talk to you said that they just want to acknowledge the guests and say thank you, comment to over program. We do appreciate what you all are doing for the men in our community. Thank you so much for being on with us this morning, Route 7 Orlando.
Yes, thank you, Monica.
Thank
Greatly
you.
appreciate it.
Coming up at 7 o'clock, we'll have a conversation with Lachey Reeves from 8 Cents in a Jar. This is Point of View on Star 94.5.
Sharing your platform with us
Oh, my
and for
gosh.
all that you do to support us.
Oh my gosh. Can I open it? Oh, man. And I was getting ready to ask you for a t-shirt. Ooh, cards and everything. Thank you so much.
Don't mind the chickens.
Thank you.
Love you. Appreciate you.
Yes, yes. Let's grow. This is it. Thank you so much. Thanks, Gina. Thanks,